Hi folks, welcome back to Stacey CAN CAN. Today I am canning some navy beans. And what you need with navy beans, and any type of bean really, most beans, double check just in case, but you just need your box or bag of beans, however it comes for you. Each pound of beans makes around 4 pints and up to 2 quarts of beans, sometimes depending on the hydration, it just depends. And then you also need some pickling salt or some salt. And if you use salt, you use regular table salt, not kosher salt or any of the flaky salts, because the viscosity of the salt changes too much, so you don't get an even measurement. So you do need to use like a regular fine grained salt, like table salt or pickling salt. So the first thing you have to do with the beans is you need to rehydrate them. Some folks don't do it. I don't recommend it because I found discrepancies in that, but the National Center for Home Food Preservation has also found a lot of spoilage issues, and it can be kind of detrimental in the health and the quality of the canning. But it's up to you. I just don't recommend it, and neither do they. And I find that I get a better overall quality of beans if I rehydrate them first. So how to do that is I like to do it overnight, put them in a bowl, put a couple inches of water over the top of the beans, and then let them set for, it says 12 to 18 hours. I think it's fine anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. It just depends. When you're done with the rehydration, dump them in a bowl, in a colander, strain them, and then put them in a pot of water like I have right here. These are currently in this pot right here. I've got them cooking at the moment. And then, so you put them in a pot, and then you'll bring them and cover them with water, and then let them boil, bring them up to a boil for 30 minutes. You can quick rehydrate, and quick rehydration is you rinse the beans good. You always want to rinse the beans before soaking because they do get dirty. So you rinse the beans, throw them in a pot such as this, cover them with a couple inches of water. Bring it to a boil, cover the lid, and let them set. I believe it's an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. So or you put them on simmer and you let them set. But then you have to dump the water and then do this process again, which is, you don't can the beans in the rehydrated water is the point. So you'll have to dump the water and do this process of cooking them for 30 minutes prior to packing the jars. So the other tools that you're going to need are, measuring spoon if you want. We do a half teaspoon for pints with pints. You do a full teaspoon with quarts if you want. Again, it's optional. You're going to need your funnel, your ladle, your jar lifter, a chopstick for bubbling, and a headspace tool, and your pressure canner, and jars and lids and rings, and of course a bowl, a colander, and a pot with a lid for the preparation. So let's get canning. So I have my jars heating up in a pan that I had in the oven with some water on the bottom. So we have the warm jars, so we don't put something hot into a cold jar, because you can shock the jar and break it. We don't want to do that. We're filling the jar to a 1-inch headspace. I'm going to go ahead and bubble. I'm going to spin this around really good. And then we'll measure like so. Looks like we're doing pretty good, but we could use a few more beans in here. I do like to have a spoon with beans kind of nearby because you can scoop them out a little bit easier. And I'll double check. Yep, we're looking good. I'm going to clean the rim like so. And I have a bowl of vinegar here that I'm using, or you can use some water, hot water if you'd like. But you do have to clean the rim, put your lid, it's hot, so be careful, and add your ring, and you're good to go, and put it into the canner. So I have the jars in the canner now, and I'm going to go ahead and add a couple splashes of 1, 2, 3. I like to put in anywhere from 2 to 3 tablespoons of vinegar in there. It just makes the canner smell better, and that's just me. Go ahead and put our lid on the top. lock it up, get the heat on high. I have had the canner on low, simmering, full of 2 to 3 inches of water has been in there. About 3 inches is what I ended up having in the canner. You saw me put in the vinegar, and when I have the water in the canner, I always make sure I have the burner on simmer, or on low, just to make sure that the hot water, when you put the hot jars into the canner, it's not cold water, because you don't want to shock the jar. So we've got the canner on high, and we're going to wait until we can get a steady stream of steam coming out of the vent pipe. I've got a steady stream of steam, and I've set the timer for 10 minutes to vent the canner. The timer has gone off, so I'm going to go ahead and cover the vent pipe, and when this gets up to 11 pounds of pressure, we'll set the timer for 75 minutes. Timer has gone off, so I've cut the heat, and we're going to wait for the dial gauge to return to 0 before taking off the lid. The dial gauge is now at 0. We're going to go ahead and take the stopper off for the steam pipe or steam vent. Take the lid off. Remember, open the lid away from your face. You'll get a facial you don't want. And oh my goodness, check these out. Look at that. Little navy bean action for you. Look really pretty. Thank you for joining me today on canning some navy beans. Please like and subscribe my page below. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, by all means, reach out to me. I'm on Facebook at Stacey CAN CAN. You can reach me on Instagram and TikTok at Stacey CAN CAN. My website is www.staceycancan.com, and email is info@staceycancan.com. So would love to hear from you if you had any feedback or information. Just remember that these are pretty hot potato. We already had one seal. That's exciting. You want to make sure that they cool for a good 8 to 12 hours, 12 to 24 hours actually, before you test the lids, and make sure to not store them with the rings on. And anyway, I had a great time, and I hope you did too. And until next time, happy canning.